All right. How'd you get here today, brother?
I drove here.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, what brought you here today?
I worked in the prison systems from 2014 to 2024 and submitted a letter of concern and demand for action in 2024, August. And so here I am. It's about the same thing.
All right. Okay.
For the same issue.
And if we could accomplish anything today, what would that be?
Getting this stuff like this on record so that people, and then using this footage, because obviously we're not going to get very many answers today. Most of these spineless cowards in suits look down at the floor when you come up to them with a sign. When you come up to them, you don't even have to say anything to them. You just show them the sign, they look at the floor. Okay, so we're not going to probably get answers out of them today, but we can use video like this and questions that these other people ask and these signs, and we can use this to go and ask for answers, send comments on social media, send letters, call to the state representatives and say, hey, look, these people are saying that y'all have bad things going on in the prisons and nobody's doing anything about it. You know, and we can use that as a way to just further the questions and get the right questions to be asked. Today, right now, as we speak, there are likely prisons in Georgia that have fewer than 5 officers at the prison, period. Okay. Besides that, of those 5 officers, 4 of them are likely females. And this is at male prisons. Okay. So this is just a horrible situation. You got all kind of rights getting violated. You can't even go down the list. I would say that the main ones would be the 8th Amendment and the 13th Amendment. Because the 8th Amendment is against cruel and unusual punishment, which putting 1,000 guys in a room with weapons and not offering any kind of security or medical aid to them when they start stabbing each other is cruel and unusual punishment.
Gotcha.
Besides that, with the 13th Amendment, now that they've left the buildings completely abandoned, all the strong inmates and the gang members have pretty much enslaved all the inmates that are not gang members, or even if they don't get enslaved and get forced to do the scamming and these other things, even if they don't do that, they have to fight all the time because these guys constantly come up and try to take their stuff. And that's just on the inmate side. Not only that, like it's on this sign, we got civilians all up in there. Not only civilians, we have peace officers. We got peace officers, civilians, inmates, all of that, going through a bloody mess up in there. It's destructive. It's riots. It's death and murder and rape constantly, all the time, because there's nobody there to stop it. There's nobody there to even try to stop it. Okay, we got inmates that get raped for weeks at the time in their cells. They never even see somebody to be able to tell or to get help. As far as right now, what we need to be demanding is all these prisons get transparency brought to them, get people like me or anybody else that is already certified that knows this issue to go in and report on what's going on till we can get some help in there and get these situations ameliorated. All the inmates need talking to. Every inmate needs talking to by somebody that's not crooked, corrupt GDC. Okay, because there are serious things going on and these inmates need to be asked what all's been going on over these last 2 or 3 years while there hasn't been no officers in the building. Okay, because I would imagine that a lot of these inmates have got some stories to tell, and they need to be told. And so do these officers have stories to tell, and these nurses and counselors and chaplains and everybody else that's involved in this crazy stuff. Our prisons in Georgia are worse than third world prisons. Okay, the gangs have complete control. Violence is so common that anybody involved, that's inmates and officers and staff, become numb to violence. Okay, I can see somebody stabbed all up. It don't affect me. I done seen hundreds of people stabbed up. Okay, because that's the situation that we were in inside those prisons. Okay, I stayed as long as I could until I seen where something major has to be done, more than just a few people that care like myself. There has to be a large force brought into the prisons in order to fix this. Until it's fixed, we're going to continue to have death and violence in the prisons because there's nobody in there to offer security. Okay, and this is coming from the inmates' family members. This is coming from your ex-staff. This is coming from inmates that are currently incarcerated, inmates that have gotten out recently, going on podcasts and everything. I mean, look, the information is out there, y'all. Our prisons are totally insane. They need help sent to them. All these people up here in this state capitol, like I say, the ones wearing suits, they look at the floor when you come up to them. Okay, the only people that I've been speaking to that come up and speak to me are other protesters. Okay, nobody from our government, except a Georgia State Patrol that came up. He also worked in the prisons, so that's probably why he had a lot of sympathy for the
I have
cause.
one question for you, and this is just hypothetical. If you
Yeah.
could have absolute power and you could change 3 things about the system, what would those 3 things be?
Absolute power, 3 things to change. 80% male officers are better at male prisons.
Okay.
Number 1, and also within that will be filling all priority 1 posts, which is supposed to be done anyway.
Say that the second one more time.
Manning all priority 1 posts.
Okay.
Like buildings, control rooms,
Right.
they by policy and by law, they're supposed to be manned 24/7.
Right.
But they're not right now because
Right.
there's but 3 officers in there.
Right.
So they're not manned. That would be number 1. Make sure we have the correct staff there and enough of them.
Right.
Number 2 would be running programs for the inmates to be able to do something, even if it's at prison, because that's a problem that we run into at these level 5 prisons where these guys are close security and they're not really supposed to be getting out of the prison.
Right.
So when you have a situation like that, that's when things like Jumar, Tylene, church services, visitation, yard call, games, all these things come into major play at these prisons where the inmates can't get out anyway.
Right.
Okay, so heavily amplify those, and that don't mean do anything past what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be giving them all that right now.
Right.
But we're not, because there's nobody in there. So that needs done as number 2.
Okay.
Number 3 would be to find out how we can recruit the best people for these specific positions that you really need specialized people for.
Gotcha.
Okay, so a deputy warden, that needs to be somebody that is temperamentally
Emotionally
inclined,
intelligent. Yep.
to be able to do that. Okay,
Yeah.
they don't need to be somebody that's got a short temper, that can't that can't make good decisions under stress, because these prisons are there's constantly things going on that's high stress.
I know I said that was my last question. One more question.
Yeah.
So the things that you documented or said, they're not far-fetched.
No.
Why do you think that they're not doing these things?
I honestly, I haven't got a good answer. When I submitted my statement, I was expecting an answer then. The answers that I got were lies.
Okay.
So, I mean, what do you do? What is the answer if the only answers you're given are lies?
Yeah.
The answers that I was given in 2024 about why people haven't been brought in now, such as National Guard or some kind of other force, they said that the Georgia National Guard is mostly female anyway. That's one of the first things they told me, because I was bringing up the fact that we need male officers.
Right.
The Georgia National Guard majority female. I looked it up. No, they're not. They're 80% male, 20% female. So a lie. All right. Besides that, he was saying that it takes too long to train officers to be able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am a post-certified instructor. I can teach somebody BCOT. It don't take but 6 weeks. So 6 weeks from August the 1st, 2024, this whole issue could have been fixed, because we can do a basic training program and train National Guardsmen or law enforcement officers, whoever, how to be a correctional officer. And all you really need is a small number of people that can lead those people to go in. Mm-hmm. So at each prison, you're going to need somebody that knows the issue, knows what to do, that's passionate about it, and enough people behind them to where they can say, hey, let's do this, run this today. At this time, we're running a yard call for C building. At this time, you need somebody in there to do all that.
Right.
They have people like that at some of these prisons, but at some of these prisons, y'all, there is no good staff left hardly.
Right.
And when I say that, I don't mean like there's nobody there and all people there are bad. What I mean that there's nobody there that has been doing it 20 years correctly, okay, or even 10, or even 3, because over the last, if they came in within the last 5 or 6 years, they have no clue what it even looks like to run a prison correctly.
Right.
All they know how to do is watch violence take place, essentially.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much all they've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years, is just documenting the violence that happens. So why they're not doing it, the reasons they give are lies. So there probably is a good reason, being as they're lying about it.
Right.
But how to get honest answers out of some people is just, it's up to them whether they want to answer honestly or not. I know that something could be done, and like I say, it could have been done very quickly, and it hasn't been done, even to this point.
Right.
So they don't plan on doing anything, evidently. So that's where people come in, we demand change, and we speak our mind. We can.
One more. If people want to hear more about the experience, your insight, you being on the inside and seeing it firsthand, where can they find you on social media?
Okay, we got a TikTok account, Expose GDC Officer Edition, and then I have a personal YouTube that I'm thinking about changing the name of, so I can get it like a better name. But as for right now, it's Chase Ryle, ChaseRyal -C7P. That's my YouTube channel. I have a few videos on there. You can go to Mr. Butler's channel here. I've done several interviews with him.
Yep.
And besides that, also Facebook, Tyler Riles, that's my name, Tyler Riles, Ryals. And then also on Twitter, Tyler Riles X, or on X, Tyler Riles X.
All righty.
So
appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
All right.
Good seeing you.
Likewise. Let me get that mic.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. How you doing, man?
Yeah, Chris Carr is waging war against the cell phones. The cell phones are not the problem. It's the corruption.
Okay.
And he knows. Chris Carr knows that people are getting beaten, strangled, shanked. Chris Carr knows all of that. And he's trying
Who's
to
Chris Carr?
Chris Carr is our Attorney General.
Okay.
He's running for governor. He's a candidate for governor, and he is silencing people.
Okay.
He knows people are getting killed in our prison.
Okay.
He knows that we are losing our loved ones right and left, and his only agenda is to shut us up. And that is why Chris Carr is waging war against the cell phones.
Okay.
So Chris Carr, when he knows and he sees the videos, the blood, the machetes, the murders, he is facilitating murder when he is shutting down the cell phones. He knows that we have no guards in our prison at night. He knows that people are dying from heart attacks, from illnesses, inside bars at night. No guards are available to help. And Chris Carr, his war on the cell phone is what is going to kill the people. His war on the cell phone is not a war against crime. It's silencing people.
Okay.
It's shutting the people up so they can't survive, so they can't seek accountability.
Right.
And he doesn't want people to survive their prison sentences. He doesn't care.
Let me ask you a question. If you had absolute control over the system, what 3 things would you change about the system? Right now, 3 things.
Right now, it's just a $0 fix.
Okay.
Is get people into the law library and medical. They are blocking law library access. They're blocking medical access.
Okay.
They're doing it constructively. They're doing it maliciously. That one change is a $0 fix. Segregate the gangs is a $0 fix. Literally, it does not cost anything infrastructure-wise to separate the gangs. And that is the cheapest fix that will stop a lot of the murders.
Yeah.
And number 3, fund the guard's salary. When people are paid enough, they won't be corrupt.
Right. Okay, so the things that you mentioned are fairly simple. Why do you think that it's not getting done?
Because they have egos the size of Texas. I mean, let's get real.
Yeah.
These people don't want to solve the problem.
Okay.
They don't want to be accountable to the public.
Okay.
It's all about being the cockroach that stays hidden and they stay away from the light and they don't fix anything.
I know I said one more question. I got one more. So we have an election. Is the governor election this year?
Yes.
So do you think that the governors, those people running for office, are going to try to come out and be tough on crime? Will they address the real issues, or will they just talk over them?
Well, it's not a sexy issue. I'll be frank with you.
Okay.
Prison reform has an ugly image in people's head.
Okay.
It's not a mainstream issue.
Okay.
It's not the biggest issue. So they want to go bang for buck. And they're afraid of looking soft on crime.
Okay.
And the reality is actually being forward thinking and giving people a reason not to slaughter people when they get out of prison.
Right.
The reason why GSP is getting them chases. cops are being killed,
Uh-huh.
victims are being killed when they could be left alive,
Right.
it's because people don't want to die when they know they're going to go back into prison.
Right.
And the other thing that is not a $0 fix, it's money coming in the door,
Uh-huh.
is virtual employment. If we can have people taking McDonald's and Wendy's orders during the pandemic over a screen in their bedrooms, virtual employment, why are we not allowing prisoners to earn that right?
Right. Mm.
Why are we not allowing people to generate an income to share with restitution, victims to get paid? But instead, people are getting killed. Lives are worth money. Why are we not getting smart and generating money?
Yeah.
If we can work online, you know how many engineers are in prison? You know how many software developers are behind bars? Quite a few. And we are not allowing these people to earn an income for victims, the state, and the family.
That makes sense, man. I appreciate your time. What's your name, ma'am?
Amy Barnes,
Amy Barnes. It was nice to meet you.
I'm a
Thanks,
criminal defense paralegal.
Wow.
And I'm here, not working, here. I can't afford to stay home.
Right.
I have to be here
Right.
because this is life. As a Republican, I say the right to life includes prisoners.
Wow.
It is the simplest message that the right to life includes prisoners. So we either stand on business and we must love each other or we must die.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, ma'am. You grab it from me. Thank you so much.
You know?